in a bit.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The era has come where Ryan Blank takes over as the host of Running the Bases. And yes, we are a show, not a podcast. Hello, everyone. It is bright and early Sunday morning as Michael continues to torture us and wake us up early. I'm alongside Michael Garaffa, of course, the legend himself, and Nick. And gentlemen, how we doing?
Fantastic. For the record, we're probably going to start changing things up. Summer break, we're going to probably do some later in the day shows.
Yes.
I don't know what you guys. I don't know what your schedule is going to look like in the summer if you guys are working, because I'm going to be working doing other stuff. So the likelihood is we're going to have to work around my off days, and we'll have a rotating schedule as the weeks go on. But we'll figure that out as it goes. But hopefully, no more Sunday morning shows every week. And next year, when we're back in the Blaze studio, we're going to be doing shows during the week every week. So it's going to be great. Sunday shows in the morning might not be a thing for much longer. So we might not have to drag you out of bed in the morning.
Everyone loves their sleep. I don't get much of it, so I value as much as I can get.
Oh, me too.
How we doing, buddy?
Yeah, Saturday night's just tough. That's all I have to say.
That's rough. Sorry.
But we're here to talk baseball. Let's get into it.
All right. I'm going to throw it over to Michael because the dear boy has to leave. He says he has an internship. I don't know if I trust him on that. But Michael, give us your content for the week.
Yes, so I do have to leave in 13 minutes at 9:15 this morning. Unfortunately, I have to leave them. So that's why Ryan is the host today. I'm not used to throwing it this way. I'm used to going the other way. But Ryan's the host. He's going to run through the whole show. Unfortunately, Marco is not here with us today, so it's just going to be the Nick and Ryan show, which is going to be fun. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. I'll be watching from while I'm eating breakfast. But, so this is going to be a good one today. We set everything up. It's going to be a fun one. We've got our top 5 moments in our team's history. We've also got an adjustment to our power rankings, and then we've got our regular scheduled programming of the Running the Bases. If you guys want, because there's only 2 of you, you can do the power rankings however you want, but I'm sure you only came with your top 10. But from now on in the power rankings, we're only doing top 10 and the number 30. So that is something that is it's new. We just –
Since it is my show today, we will not be doing 30 because we know who the dumpster fire of an organization is at 30.
The
Colorado Rockies.
That depends. It depends. The team in 30 is actually not the team you would expect. So we'll get there in a minute. But I'm gonna roll through everything, and these guys are gonna roll through it then afterwards because I want you guys to hear my content, and then they'll provide more feedback to me once I leave. I'm sure I'll get a lot of good conversation about me once I leave because we just know them. So I'm sorry that I'm going to be taking up so much of your time for the next 10 minutes. But then these guys are going to have the rest of the show to themselves. So, they don't have to worry about me or hear me much. So let's get rolling, shall we? So we have our top 5 moments in our team's history. Now, the main point of this was for us to really get to know the big moments in each other's team's history and obviously talk about it a little bit. And every team has a lot of different moments. Every team has more. Some teams have more moments than others. And I'll be honest, there weren't 5 that stood out to me. There were about 3 or 4 that really stood out right away. But it wasn't very easy for me to pick a top 5 because there haven't been really 5 moments that stand out and you say, yes, they have to be in there. So we'll roll it off right away. At number 5, I have Johan Santana's no-hitter as the number 5 moment in Mets history. One of the best moments in Mets history. I was fortunate enough to be able to watch that game live on television. It was a special moment for Mets fans because it was the first no-hitter in team history, and so far has been the only no-hitter in team history. For a team that has such incredible pitching throughout its entire lifetime, it's quite amazing to see that I've only had 1 no-hitter. At number 4, I have the Mets winning their first World Series in Game 5 of 1969's World Series. They beat out the Orioles that year. It was a great World Series game and barely edging out Johan Santana for the number 4 spot. Many people probably are going to wonder why it's not higher. Well, that's because it was a great moment, but the other 3 above it just are emotionally at the best. Now, at number 3, I have the Mike Piazza post 9/11 home run. Now, this home run for Mike Piazza was the home run that united New York. For once in a lifetime, the Mets and Yankee fans were cheering together for a home run by a Mets player. It was really a special moment, and it was a moment that will live in infamy and will probably stay in the top 3 of Mets moments of all time until the Mets win a World Series again, I would assume, because that Mike Piazza moment was something special and is really something that sticks with all of us. And for New Yorkers, it has a special place in every New Yorker's heart. Now at number 2, I have the Mets winning Game 7 of the 1986 World Series as Jesse Orosco throws his glove up into the air, taking home the Game 7 victory for the Mets as they beat out the Red Sox. It was a phenomenal series, but Game 7, this World Series, their second World Series, is valued higher than their first World Series in 1969. For whatever reason, I don't know why. I mean, the first no-hitter is going to be valued probably higher than the other no-hitters after, but for some reason, this World Series, the most recent one, was just seen as more special. It was a really great group of guys. The team was just, they gelled so well, and it was how they got there that is what really made it special. And then at number 1, the most iconic moment in New York Mets history is the little roller up along first, and it's behind the bag and gets through Buckner as the Mets win the ball game in Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. The little roller from Mookie Wilson right up the first baseline that gets through Bill Buckner's legs leads to the Mets winning the game. The World Series would have been over if that ball was caught and the Mets would have lost, and we'll have only had one World Series in franchise history, but instead the ball got through, and that moment led to the Mets winning the World Series. So any thoughts on that from the peanut gallery over here on my top 5 moments? Because I know that I'm not going to be able to hear yours, and I'm excited to hear them after.
You don't want to hear one of mine, though.
Oh, I know one of yours. It's probably the number 1.
You never know, Michael. You never know. But no, I agree with your top 5. I agree.
It's hard to disagree with the fans' top 5.
Oh yeah, that's true. You guys haven't
I could
witnessed
easily
the
go
whole-
at him with 1, but no, I agree with you. I agree
Well,
with you.
what would you put at number 1?
You know,
Probably Piazza.
Piazza. That's what I put.
See, when I look up,
I like your top 5. I would put personally. I put Piazza. That's just
the thing is, I mean, I value Piazza very highly in that regard. But I mean, when you look up, like I wanted to look up people's top 10s. Normally I like doing it on my own, but I wanted to see if there was anything I wasn't thinking of or seeing where people put other things. And every single one of them had the Bill Buckner ball at number 1 and had Piazza pretty close thereafter. But it was actually surprising. A lot of them had Piazza like in 3 or 4. So it wasn't like, it's not like I based it on that, but I did. I saw that a lot of people had Buckner, and I agreed before doing this that Buckner was number 1. So I just had that slotted in my number 1 spot. So now I've got 2 more things to do for you guys before I head out, and we have the power rankings for the week. And now the power rankings for the week, as I mentioned earlier, is only going to be for me number 30 today, and the top 10. Now the number 30 spot is something we're going to do every week just to glorify the worst team in baseball that week. And then the top 10, I know these guys aren't going to do a number 30, but nonetheless. So at number 30, Nick, I'm sorry, the Tigers. They are my number 30 in the power rankings. They have had a horrible week. You can't disagree with me on that.
It's been better than the Rockies, though. You have to.
I'm sorry. There's a team that I could put at 30 that is way different than both those. The Reds have been atrocious.
Does no one understand how bad the Rockies have been lately?
Oh, the Rockies are dog.
They've won more games recently than the Tigers have.
Recently, I guess that's fair. But yeah, it's not like we're getting blown out. I mean,
hey, I would say it's virtually a tie between the bottom 3. I've got the Twins at 29, and honestly, that's probably interchangeable. And then the Rockies are at 28. So you guys you're holding hands at 30. I'll put it that way. My biggest fall of the week are the Cincinnati Reds. They went all the way from 3 to number 24. So that's a 21-point drop. So now let's get into the top 10, shall we? At number 10, this team was at number 2 last week, but they had a good week, but they've struggled in the last couple games. This is the Boston Red Sox. They were really good, and I mean they're still looking really strong right there at the top of the division. The AL East has been really weird so far. At number 9, jumping 13 spots, the second highest jump of the week. This is the Chicago Cubs. They swept the Mets, and they have been red hot. The only loss they've had recently was against the Brewers yesterday. They have just been really, really good, and they would honestly be higher if they didn't lose to the Brewers yesterday because the teams above them have just been even hotter somehow. Now, at number 8, I have the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the Tampa Bay Rays have just been really good recently. This team has been sneakily hitting. They've been sneakily pitching well. And honestly, I bet you guys probably didn't even I'm sure, you guys did. But viewers probably didn't even realize how well the Rays have been doing lately. They're making a real push for the top of that division. If it weren't for the Red Sox real push early on, it would have been probably a Rays division right now, but because the Red Sox were so good so early, the Rays are not in first place. Now, at number 7, the aforementioned Milwaukee Brewers. They beat out the Cubs yesterday. They have been scorching hot. They were at number 5 last week, so they have dropped 2 spots, but I mean, I think I speak for you guys when I say the Brewers have surprised a lot of people this year. They have been really good. They have been better than we thought, and they're looking really good. Their offense is producing, and I mean, that pitching staff being carried by Corbin Burnes and Brandon Woodruff. When last year we said that the ace of the AL Central was Brandon Woodruff and that the best player in their team was Brandon Woodruff. And honestly, I think we all agreed that last year their rotation was not great. But now they have 2 guys who have really – they could be aces of any staff, and it's pretty special what they've got going on over there. Now, at number 6, with the biggest jump of the week, they were at 20 last week, and they are back where they belong. It is the Chicago White Sox. And the White Sox – they had a really rough first week and a half. They came back. They have been on fire lately, and honestly, they've been really fun to watch. The energy is back where they need it to be, and they are finally hitting, and that's just something that's been really missing for them a lot, and their pitching is locked down a little bit. So that's at number 6. Now, at number 5, boy, when I say that this team has been really, really surprising to me, this is the San Francisco Giants. Now, the Giants were at number 11 last week, and my goodness, they have been great. And this top 5 is elite. Like this top 5, when I tell you that 3 of these top 5 teams I never thought would even be in the top 15 this year, but they're in the top 5 right now and very solidly there, that's not a lie. The Giants are at number 5. They have been on fire. But at number 4, Nick gave them too much flack last week, and they proved him wrong. The Seattle Mariners. They have been on fire. And Nick, Ryan and I told you last week, don't mess around with this team. And even Blake said it. These Mariners, man, they are looking good. If it weren't for the Athletics, they would be right there in number 1 in the division. They have been just hitting. I mean, they've been phenomenal. I'm so impressed with how the Mariners are playing right now. It has been just a pleasure to watch. Now, at number 3, this one was a real surprise to me at how high they are. I anticipated them to play well this year, but they are playing a lot better than I thought. The Kansas City Royals. That's right, Ryan. At number 3, I've got the Royals. They've been hitting. And hey, I told you they were going to play well this year. I told you they're going to make a push for the playoffs, and everyone doubted it. Everyone told me that I was wrong, but I mean, I've been pretty much early on in this season. I have been very on point with my how I think teams are going to play, and it's been good to know that I knew that this Royals team was going to do well, and they've been doing very well. Now, at number 2, this is the shock of the week for me. I'm not going to lie. This is the shock of the week. At number 2, the Los Angeles Dodgers. For the first time since 2019, the Dodgers are not the number 1 team in baseball at the moment. The power rankings, I mean, they struggled in the series against the Padres. Their bats have not been as good this week. And honestly, if they didn't win last night, they probably would be at number 3 or number 4 because this week's not been the best for them. They were off to such a red hot start, but they struggled. And at number 1, they've won 13 in a row, the Oakland Athletics. I mean, I don't think you can disagree with me that the Athletics are the hottest team in baseball right now. They have been phenomenal, and watching them play has been really, really special. And I have to put them over the Dodgers because they haven't lost. A team that doesn't lose can't not be number 1. And I'm intrigued to see later on who you guys have there. I have a feeling, Nick, based on Nick's reaction, I know you don't agree with me, but I have a feeling Ryan might actually agree with me on that one, but we'll have to wait and see later on. So that's my power rankings. And then I have my top 5 moments of the week because I do have to get out of here, and I want to give you guys my segment because my segment is, my segment's something it's something good. It gives you guys the top 5 moments that took place during the week. So at number 5, I have the Diamondbacks winning a game that they once trailed 3-0 entering the 9th with a Josh Van Meter, former Cincinnati Red, 3-run home run and 5 runs in the top of the 10th inning to beat the Cincinnati Reds on April 21st. I know that was a lot, but the moral of the story is Josh Van Meter, former Cincinnati Red, hit a game-tying home run in the top of the 9th inning. It was a magical moment, and it was really something special. At number 4, Fernando Tatis Jr. homering twice in a game at Dodger Stadium against Clayton Kershaw on the anniversary of the day his dad hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning at Dodger Stadium. I could even lump into here the game from last night where he hit 2 home runs as well, and that would probably, I don't know if that would put him over at number 3, but that's still important to mention. Now at number 3, Corbin Burnes setting an MLB record as the first pitcher ever with 40 strikeouts and no walks to start a season. That happened on April 20th. Really great start to the year for Corbin Burnes. And man, that dude has been something special to watch. Now, someone even more special to watch so far this year has been Jacob deGrom, and he is at the number 2 spot with the best start of his career 2 nights ago, throwing a 2-hit complete game shutout. He struck out a career-high 15 and set a major league record with 50 strikeouts throughout his first 4 starts, something nobody has ever done before. Oh, and he also went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a double. If it weren't for that batting performance, he probably would be at 4 or 5 on this list. But I mean, he was a one-man wrecking machine. And then at number 1, this is something special. The Athletics winning 13 in a row after starting the season 1-7. Boy, oh boy, have the Athletics been hot. This team is really, really good right now. They have been fun to watch, and they are really enjoying themselves out there. And honestly, this week wasn't filled with super moments, but there have been a lot of underlying stories that have been really cool and really special. So that's my shtick for the day. All of my information that I would have been pouring out over this hour is now all out on the floor in 15 minutes, and I'll throw it back over to you guys. I want to hear a little bit of feedback on the power rankings and top 5 before I head out. But man, that was a speed run.
I just want to.
For me, I think it's just you're gonna have to hear our top 5s, just for my feedback.
Okay.
I feel like that's just what it's gonna have to be.
Okay. If you made a top 5, that's fine.
I have top 10. I have a top 10.
Oh, I think you meant for moments of the week.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I thought Nick was. I thought Ryan was talking
so
about
you want
top
to hear
5
stuff
moments
on
of
the
the week.
power rankings, and I just said listen to what we have to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
For your top 5 plays of the week, I thought they were fine. Nothing too special.
One of the I don't know if you guys caught the Athletics Twins game where like the Twins threw the ball away like twice in a row to end the game. And the A's the A's like 11th straight win, I think.
Yeah, that's lumped in there, but I didn't want to have too long of a number 1. But yeah, that was all this magical week for the Athletics. Every game is basically that number 1. They've been incredible. So with that, I hand it off to you two, Ryan, Nick. This is your time to shine. Just the two of you guys. I will be watching for the next half an hour before I head out, so I'll keep that in mind. Marco did comment his top 5 moments in team history, so make sure you look at the comments for that because I'm sure we want to show Marco's. But enjoy, everybody. Have a good day, and I'll see you next week, man. This is crazy. We might just impromptu move the shows to Tuesdays. I don't know, or Wednesdays. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out eventually, but. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy Ryan and Nick, everybody. I'm heading out.
All right, now here's the fun. We're here for the fun. Nick, let's start off with our top 10s. We both have the Rockies at 30, correct?
We do, correct. Let's get it.
Yes, the Rockies are terrible.
I agree.
A sad franchise that just – any Rockies fan, if you want to join a bandwagon, nobody will. Nobody will blame you.
To be fair, I thought the Pirates were going to be like way worse this year.
Yeah, the Pirates are just playing pretty well.
Yeah,
they're lately the bottom of their division.
Yeah, literally, they won 2 out of 3 against us, and I was like, okay, I guess.
All right, Nick, give us your top 10.
All right, yeah, I'll go 10-1. At number 10, I have the Houston Astros. They've been playing a lot better lately. They're up to like a really bad start. Lately, they've won 3 in a row, and I think they've just been looking good overall. Number 9, like Michael said, the Rays. The Rays have been outperforming almost every team this year that they've played. I think they've only lost 1 series this year, and they've just been playing winning baseball. 8, like Michael said, the Giants have been playing inspired baseball. One of my roommates is a Giants fan. He tells me every day that he's getting like 2010, 2012 vibes. I can kind of see it. This team's scrappy. This team can pitch pretty well. This team can hit pretty well. Number 7, I have the Brewers. The Brewers are off to an amazing start. If their hitting could catch up with their pitching, then this team could be really dangerous. Their pitching staff's been unbelievable this season, and their hitting's just been a little subpar to start the season. Number 6, I have the White Sox. They've just been steady all season. Obviously, we and Ryan want them to lose more than win, but we can't lie. They've been winning this year. Number 5, I have the Royals, and oh my God, they've just been so impressive, especially lately.
You're giving the Royals respect?
It's not like I'd ever disrespect the Royals if they were playing well, but like right now they're playing so well. I mean, yesterday's game was really making me mad because it was a winnable game and we still lost.
I want to talk to you about that before we get into our top 5 moments. We'll talk about
that. No, Boyd was awesome. That pitching duel was awesome, first of all. But yeah, the Royals have just been playing really well lately, and they should be in the top 5, no doubt. Number 4, I mean, Michael and you were right last week. The Mariners, they just haven't lost, and they've been on an absolute tear lately. And so for me, they squeak into my number 4. Number 3 is the Padres. They dropped a little bit. I think they lost. They got swept by the Brewers this week, and they haven't had the best week overall, but they're playing really well against the Dodgers, which is what I like to see. Number 2 is the A's. They've won 13 in a row. It's hard to not have them in the top 2 after winning 13 in a row, but I still see the Dodgers as the best team in baseball, and that's not going to change for me anytime soon.
Nick and I agreed so far from 9-6, Michael says. But let's look at my top 10. Number 10, I'm going to give it to the Rays because the Royals lost their first series of the season to the Rays this week. And it's just because that team, any mistake your team makes, they will take advantage. And that's what happened. The Royals' defense was bad, and they left some pitches hanging, and they took advantage. So Rays are at 10 for me. Number 9, I have the White Sox. They've started to get going a little bit. They've won 4 out of their last 5. Number 8, I have the Red Sox. They've slipped a little bit, but they're definitely still a top 10 team right now. They've looked really good to start this season. Number 7, it's the Brewers. The Brewers swept the Padres, which is something I wouldn't have expected, but Woodruff looked good. Corbin Burns has looked terrific. So I got to give the Brewers a top 10 nod at 7. And then at 6, I have the Giants. This Giants team, you wouldn't think like this team is a potential contender and someone that can make noise, but that's what they're doing. And it's not like they're not beating good teams. They're playing the Mariners right now.
The Phillies, they handed it to the Phillies last week too.
Yeah, they're beating good teams. Number 5, I have the Royals as well. I think that despite them going only 4-2 this week, in at least one of those games they should have won, they're playing great baseball. The offense is doing what they need to do. They didn't come through a lot yesterday, but they did what they needed to do. And I'm extremely happy with how the Royals are looking. They're looking really good offensively. Just some of the pitching needs to settle down a little bit. Number 4, I have the Mariners as well. This Mariners team is playing great baseball. And you disrespected them last week, and now you are on our side. You're on our side now.
We'll see what happens. But I feel like long term they won't be this good, but like short term, like I gotta give them the respect. They're a top 5 team right now, I'd say.
Exactly. Number 3, I have the Padres. I think what's killed them was that sweep that they had against the Brewers. I don't think they should have been swept. So that's why I have them at 3. Number 2, I have the Athletics. This is a team that's won 13 in a row. They're red hot, but this isn't sustainable. They're not going to win 25 straight games. Yeah, they're on fire right now, but I don't think that they are the top team in baseball right now. It's the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the best team in baseball. Yeah, they had some rough couple games against the Padres. Yeah, but when you got to go against Fernando Tatis hitting 2 home runs a game, what do you expect?
It's not like they're even playing bad. Like they won last night's game, and they have the rubber match tonight. They can still win the series tonight.
Yeah, they can at least split the series tonight with the Padres if they win. So I think that it's going to be a good game, but I am going to stick with the Dodgers at 1. And I have to show this. Michael, never.
I don't know how'd you do that, Dan.
Michael, don't. No, buddy. Oh, Lord. You're killing me, Smalls. All right. Before we get into our top moments, we got to talk about yesterday's Royals-Tigers game. What a pitching.
Bro, that was awesome. If you like pitching, that was the game for you because our starters absolutely were shoving yesterday. Oh my god. How many innings?
Games tell you the real baseball fans who can sit there, watch, and cheer on a game that is a 1-0 to 2-1 game.
Oh, it was so awesome. It's unfortunate we lost, but Singer was spectacular. I mean, we were combined 6 hits, bro. There's combined 6 hits in that game. Damn.
Boyd was terrific.
He's been so good this year. Like actually so good. Like I know at the beginning of the year, I think I had him as like our most overrated player on the Tigers, but like he's proved me wrong so nicely. His ERA is like sub 2 right now. Yeah,
he's looked really good so far this season. Singer, that is the best I've seen Singer since last year when he had that no-hitter into the 8th against Cleveland.
Singer,
he allowed 1 run off of the home run by
Willie Castro. It was his birthday. Yeah,
it was Willie Castro. And the pitch, I was watching it, and I was looking at the pitch. The pitch was a good pitch.
Yeah.
Slider that was going inside on him, got him to swing, and he just got his barrel on it. It was a great swing.
It was his birthday, so it was a little bit of birthday magic for Willie. So,
But Josh Stalmont,
oh my God, I didn't know he could throw 102 that easily.
he throws 102, then he'll come at you with like an 84-mile-per-hour curve. He could end up being the closer. I think he's going to end up taking over that role full time.
He should. He was
save yesterday.
He mowed down our ninth inning so quickly.
Yeah, and you saw him just nodding his head.
Yeah. He's
like, yeah, they're done. They're done.
Oh no. Damn.
But hey,
we do play in like 40 minutes now.
Yes, they played at 9 a.m. yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
I woke up for that. I don't know why. Like why
I was on the 5th, and I was like, all right, it's only 2-0. We still got this, but we didn't got this.
No, I was watching the game. I woke up at like 8:45 just without an alarm, and I was like, hey, the Royals are on like 15 minutes.
Oh, that's clutch. It's low-key clutch having teams play early.
Yeah, it really is. Now, let's go over to our top 5 moments in our team's history, and let's start with Marco. Here are Marco's top 5. The Kershaw no-hitter at 5. Number 4 is Roy Campanella's standing ovation. Number 3, Sandy Koufax's perfect game. 2, the 2020 World Series championship. And number 1 is the Kirk Gibson home run in 1988. Marco, I agree with those. I personally would have put the Koufax perfect game above number 2, which is the World Series, but I definitely agree with what you're going for.
No, yeah, I agree with these, I would say. Yeah, I mean, the Koufax per game, you definitely put it 2, but I see his reasoning for putting it at 2 because, I mean, he's actually, like, there for it, too.
Yeah, that's fair.
And, yeah, the Kirk Gibson home run, that has to be one.
That's got to be number 1. That's got to be number 1.
It's like a top 5 baseball moment of, like, all time, so.
So,
yeah.
Nick, let's go to you. Give us your top 5 moments in Tigers history.
Honestly, this is pretty sad list. I'm not gonna lie to you, but we will get it started, I guess. At number 5, I would probably say that I'm not gonna do a lot of like historical ones. But my top 3 would probably be historical, but like my bottom 3 are gonna be ones like I've actually been alive for. So number 3, I did. Number 5, I did Miguel Cabrera's Triple Crown season. That was like just one of the most fun seasons I've ever had watching baseball. Like that season, like really got me into baseball. I'm like just watching Miguel Cabrera like absolutely just dominate the game of baseball like that way. And like the one stat I'll always remember is that he had the first Triple Crown since 1967. It was Carl Yastrzemski, and I was like, damn, that has to be special. Like, that just has to be. I was new to baseball, and I just knew right from the get go that was special for me, and like it always will be because he's really the type of player that got me into baseball. And at number 4, I'm definitely gonna go with Verlander's Cy Young and MVP season. Like, oh my goodness, was he electric? I think he finished the season 22-5 with like a mid-3 ERA, but he was absolutely spectacular. I think that season he included like a no-hitter in Toronto, and he was just absolutely so dominant that season. And him and Cabrera were like the catalyst for getting me into baseball. Verlander from the pitching standpoint, Cabrera from a hitting standpoint. And at number 3, I would probably go from 2011 to 2013, like our playoff runs. They were just so fun. We'd always beat up on the Athletics. Sorry, Parker. We even swept the Yankees one time in the ALCS to go to the World Series in 2012. Like that stretch of baseball for me was just so fun to watch because the Tigers were actually competing and like we had a chance to go to the World Series almost every year. Our rosters were constructed so nicely with excellent pitching rotations and lineups that could hit every day. But it was unfortunate we couldn't get one World Series out of those teams. But it is what it is. And at number 2, I have the 1984 World Series championship. Most recently when we beat the Padres, and that was just so special for our franchise. They have 4 World Series all together, and 84 was special because that's like one of our more recent ones, and like just all together, it was just such a special moment for the Tigers. At number 1, I have Maglio Ordonez's walk-off 2006 ALCS home run that sent us to the World Series that we ended up losing to the St. Louis Cardinals. But when I think of a special moment in Tigers history, I think that's the first one I think of is Maglio Ordonez's walk-off home run because that actually gives me goosebumps. I wasn't a Tigers fan at the time watching it, but going back and reliving that was magical. And it was unfortunate we lost the World Series to the Cardinals, but it was still a great time to meet Tigers fan in 2006.
All right. I like yours. I like yours a lot. I like how you tried to go with ones that you have seen. So I really like that. I like yours a lot.
Yeah, cool. Let's hear yours.
My top 5. A couple of these, no, you guys won't know about. You guys probably won't know my number 5. Number 5 is Steve Busby in 1973, throwing the first no-hitter in Royals franchise history. Yes, 3 more have been thrown, but that's the first one in Royals history. So gotta get some history there. Number 4 was tough to put at number 4. Michael, it starts. Alex Gordon's game-tying home run off Familia in Game 1 of the 2015 World Series. Oh, I just remember it. Lagares going back to the wall. God! We're tied! I ran around my house. I had friends over that night. We all ran around my house screaming. Because that home run, all of us knew the Royals were winning the World Series.
That was an electric moment right there. That was awesome.
I am getting a flag because everyone on this show knows Alex Gordon is my favorite baseball player ever. Everyone knows that. And I am getting a flag where it is a picture of Gordon holding up number 1 after rounding first base. I am so excited for that flag. It's only like $30, so I'm going to do it. Now, Michael, the torture continues for you, buddy. Number 3, November 1st, 2015. Do you remember what that was, Michael? Game 5. Royals trail going into the 9th with Matt Harvey on the mound. Kane leads it off with a single. Hosmer sends a double to the gap, scores Kane. Do you remember what happens next? Let me refresh you if you don't, Michael. Mike Moustakas. Grounder to Lucas Duda. Hosmer dashes home. The throw gets past the catcher, which is Darnode. Royals tie it. They go into the 12th. The Royals dominate the 12th. The game-winning hit came from Christian Colon, and the Royals win their first World Series in 30 years and dominate the Mets 4-1. Number 2, September 30th, 2014. You can probably guess what I'm going to talk about from 2014. And Parker, I know I've given you a lot of flack for the wild card after the Salvi walk-off against the Rays, but 2014, first playoff game in my lifetime for the Kansas City Royals. I'm there. They're down 7-2 after the 6th inning. My brother says, let's leave. The Royals are going to lose. I said 2 things. 1, you're stupid. You don't leave a playoff game. 2, the Royals will come back and win. I'll bet you $50 to 10 the Royals come back and win. He took it. And I will always remember, outside, Salvi lunges his bat out down the third base line, this far away from Donaldson's mitt. Christian Colon comes in and scores, and the Royals win and advance to the ALDS and start one of the greatest runs ever in postseason history that led to them winning their first 8 games. They swept the entire AL. The entire AL, they swept it. They dominated the Angels in 3 games, dominated the Orioles in 4. One of the greatest runs in postseason history. And then the number 1 moment, it's a mix of 2 days. October 26th and 27th, 1985. Royals come back down 3-2 against the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series and claim their first World Series championship. It was tough to put that number 1, but I had to do it. I had to.
That was awesome. That was fine.
So
I like how you had 2 moments that included the Mets World Series, which is awesome.
You know, it's got to be, though.
Yeah.
When you look at it, I almost put I don't think you guys know about this. It was in 1980. it was from Goose Gossage. He helped the Royals when he – not Goose Gossage. Jeez, my head is out of it right now. But, yes, it was actually Goose Gossage. I am stupid. Don't worry. My head's just not in the right mindset right now. Royals ended up going – they were facing the Yankees in 4 of the past 5 ALCSs. Royals ended up winning and going to the World Series, which they ended up losing. But they did get there. So I almost put that in the top 5, but I had to go Busby at number 5. So those are my top 5 moments. And Michael, I know you're crying somewhere. I'm sorry, buddy. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Not at all. No, it's not. I'm not sorry at all. But I need to ask you, Nick, do you think the Tigers will finish in 5th, or do you think they will somehow manage to finish in 4th with how the Indians are starting to slip?
Nah, we're going to be 5th. It's really unfortunate the way it's going to turn out. But we have like the least talented roster in the division. We have the least talented rotation, least talented lineup. It's just not going to work out this year. I mean, I'm excited for our future. I do think we have some nice, promising prospects that are in the works right now. I like the way that we're introducing some of our prospects that we drafted a few years ago. Like Mize is becoming a regular rotation piece now. He hasn't looked good lately, but like I think he'll be good for the future. Willie Castro is going to be good in the future. I can already tell. Badu, this kid came out of nowhere. I think he can be solid down the stretch. But for this season alone, that's where your question was. And I can tell you that we're probably going to finish 5th because just the way our roster is constructed and the talent in the division is actually really, really insane. Like the Twins are good. I think the Indians are decent. The White Sox are really good, and the Royals have been playing fantastic. So honestly, this division is just so tough, 1 through 4. And then after that, the Tigers are just kind of sitting there.
All right, let's round the bases, as Michael says. And I'm going to start off with my team of the week. At catcher, there were really no catchers that stood out to me this week, but I went with JT Realmuto. He was 5 of 13 this week, hit 385, so got to give him credit there. At first base, it's Matt Olson. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs this week, easily. And I think he is a candidate to be the weekly MVP for Market Hickman.
100%.
Next up at second base is Joey Wendell. The main reason I went with Joey Wendell is because he raked against the Royals. He murdered the Royals. He was hitting like crazy. He also ended the week hitting over 400, so I got to give him credit there. At third base is Austin Riley, had the highest average of any player this week, hitting over 500. I believe he had another home run as well. Then in left field, just going towards – oh, wait, I forgot about my shortstop, Fernando Tatis Jr., 4 home runs in the past 2 days. Enough said. Now heading to the outfield, David Peralta, tied for the league high this week with 9 RBIs. Mike Trout had the 3rd highest OPS this week at over 1.5 and hit over 400. And then Adolis Garcia of the Rangers had 4 home runs and 8 RBIs this week. So I got to give him his credit. And then at DH, like I did last week, I put someone that didn't make the cut at their position and usually a traditional DH. The one that just didn't make the cut at his position, Rhys Hoskins, hit 4 home runs and had 7 RBIs this week. And then my traditional DH is Giancarlo Stanton, who was carried by his 2 home run performance against the Cleveland Indians. And then pitchers, I've got a tie. It's 2 NL East guys. It's between Nola and Jacob deGrom. So those are my players for my team of the week. And then Michael loves how I also add a team who's actually looked good this week. And it's obvious who I'm going to go with. The Oakland Athletics. There's nobody else that you can pick here. That's justified. So that is my team of the week. And Nick, I'm going to throw it off to you. Take it away, my friend.
Cool. And like kind of what I do is just talk about players that people may not know about too much, like kind of underrated players that are performing really well this season. I'll start off in the hard run category. I think I've said this guy like 3 times already, but he still continues to hit home runs until we talk about him. Ryan McMahon of the Rockies. The average is decent, 273, but the 7 home runs is tied for the league right now, and he's also had 13 RBIs. He's been ranking. He's been the one shining piece in the Rockies team this year. Not even Trevor Story's been that good, but Ryan McMahon's actually been playing really well. And it's not 2016, but Javi Baez is still hitting home runs. He's hit 6 this season so far, 17 RBIs. The average is really bad. Like, I don't even talk about the batting average. And I think he has
like a DH. He's looking like a DH.
He's really looking like a DH. But I'm not gonna lie, like, he's so swaggy on defense. So they need him at the shortstop position. But oh my God, his average is so bad. And then another fan favorite of ours in the house, Byron Buxton. He's actually been playing so well lately. Like, aside from his defensive gems, his bat looks so good. He's batting .392 with 6 home runs and 11 RBIs. And, like, mind you, the Twins have had COVID issues lately too, so those stats could be even better if they play like more games. And Byron Buxton looks so good lately. Also, Wilson Contreras of the Chicago Cubs. He's been an underrated catcher this year. The batting average isn't there, but the home runs are there with 6, 13 RBIs, even 1 stolen base for him. But for a catcher, that I feel like those numbers are just so good. And then I'll go to pitching here real quick. I also got to give a quick shout out to DeGrom, who's actually been the best pitcher I've seen in a long time. Like, oh my God! Like, I know this isn't an underrated player that I'm supposed to be talking about, but I just want to give a quick shout out to DeGrom because he's just been so good. No, but I had to get the shout out has to go to Corbin Burns until he gets recognized for what he's doing. Like, he has actually been like a top 2 pitcher this season, and DeGrom's been 1, and then I think it's been Burns at number 2. A .37 ERA, a .37 ERA. In 24 innings pitched, like that is absolutely absurd to me. 40 strikeouts. Has he walked anybody yet? Oh, what's up?
Nick. Oh, I love you for
Jacob just brought yourself in.
Yeah, I did. I brought myself in just to say that, Nick, I love you for mentioning Jacob deGrom.
Someone had to.
Oh, I don't get
I am leaving now. What?
I didn't get any love for saying Jacob deGrom.
When did you say Jacob deGrom?
For my team of the week at pitcher.
Oh, well, that's different.
Hey,
Nick,
remember, Michael, this is a very important life lesson for you right now. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice the amount of time that you talk.
I'm commending Nick for mentioning him and being the best he's seen in a very long time. That's the part I'm going to give him.
I actually have the power to do this.
Well, I just wanted to say goodbye because I am leaving now. So have a good rest of the show.
Later, buddy. Have fun.
Y'all have done a great job. It's been really fun. So I've been enjoying it. So.
Bye, Michael. Have fun at your intro thing.
I will. See y'all.
And then my last player here, I give a quick shout out to Giants ace Kevin Gausman. He has a 1-0 record, 2.14 ERA, 34 strikeouts. The Giants have been looking good all year, and their ace has been looking good all year too. Gausman's looked really good.
I think Gausman taking the qualifying offer really hurt the Giants because they should have locked him up.
Yeah, they should have locked him up. He's gonna get a nice deal after the season.
He's gonna get paid a lot of money.
Yep.
Now let's head over to Marco. And Marco has his AL MVP, his NL MVP, his AL Cy Young, and NL Cy Young. His NL MVP, I think we can all guess it. Fernando Tatis Jr. He's you can't justify anyone else. It looks like his shoulder is finally healthy. He's starting to hit. And then what he did on the same night that his dad hit 2 home runs against the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium, I think that's really cool. So Fernando Tatis was given the week 3 MVP in the NL. In the AL, it is Matt Olson. As I said earlier, he was on fire this week. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. And then for his NL Cy Young, he is about to get attacked by Michael in our group chat / on Twitter. Aaron Nola is his NL Cy Young of the week. We are ready for the banter. Bring it on, you two. I'm ready. I'm going to get some popcorn, sit down, and relax. Now, It's obvious for your AL Cy Young of the week. It's Garrett Cole, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run against the Cleveland Indians. He looked terrific. So that's Marco's segment, and that'll do it for this episode of Running the Bases. A shorter episode. We are not on the Blaze anymore, so it's kind of weird.
This is kind of weird.
And I need to.
We think it's early too.
This is what Michael just put out there. This is how you know he's mad but crying on the inside.
Honestly, I think you could.
That's how you know he's mad and crying on the inside. Where he says,
DeGrom could really be up there for MVP candidate too.
Oh yeah,
especially for the week. I know Tatis has been absolutely insane this week, but DeGrom just hasn't done anything wrong this season.
Yeah, and Michael, since I still think you're here, I have to highlight this just because, and then I'm gonna reenact it for you. Boom! Oh, I love messing with Michael. It's too much fun. Everyone, thank you very much for coming out and tuning in to the Running the Bases show, not podcast. We will be back at some point. Michael decides the times. I think for now we'll still be on Sunday mornings, but that is it for this show. I will let Nick bask in his glory of being Michael's favorite, even though we don't know how much it's really worth. Have a great rest of your week and a great week ahead, and we will see you next week.